that
Oh
blanket
my
behind you,
God.
Johnny?
I hope that's the first thing they hear.
Okay. Welcome back to the Locket Podcast. This is episode 2. We are a band called Locket. We are all hanging out because we just filmed a music video. And we are putting out an album. October 25th, we have an album called All Out that's coming out through Fearless Records. Make sure to go to locketsongs.com. You can pre-save, pre-order, do all those things. It helps us out a lot. As well as we are going on tour with The Dangerous Summer. October 23rd, in a couple weeks. And we're hitting most of the major markets in the United States. So if you were looking for tickets or dates, go to locketsongs.com and you can check it out there. How did I do?
You did good.
Was that like too professional?
No, good.
It was very,
It's
solid.
very Cory.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You could have mentioned a quality product at some
Yeah,
point.
quality
in your
product.
vlogs.
Make sure to subscribe to. No, okay, so we are all together right now because we are doing a music video, or at least we shot one yesterday.
Yeah.
So we tried to shoot an entire music video in one day. We'll figure out in a couple hours if it worked. Brad, do you want to talk about that whole thing since you are Mr. Director Man?
Yeah, like, I don't know, talk about what?
Okay, well, I was trying to explain the concept of the music video to my girlfriend last night, and then I realized I didn't really know what was going on.
Yeah, okay. Basically, I don't know, I feel like I don't want to give away too much of it.
Yeah.
But there's a sequence that took up most of the shoot day where my girlfriend and I walk through like a series of rooms, and in every room, these guys play multiple characters. So it's supposed to be this kind of weird, quirky, like surreal, like we just saw them there in this outfit, and now Cory's shirt's undone, and what's going on? I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
It's a little, there's more to it than that,
Yeah.
and I'm sure by the time this is out, that I don't know, when's this coming out?
This is going to come out before that.
Okay, this will come out before.
Yeah,
But
and it's for
you'll
a
see.
song that's unreleased, so
Yeah.
there's not really
25th.
much you could say about
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
But I will say the studio we went to was pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah,
I
it was
don't
really
know how
nice.
to pronounce it, but we should
Diptych.
mention it.
Diptych
Diptych.
Studios.
It's
yeah.
spelled DIP
T-Y.
dot TYCH,
Something like that, yeah.
something like that. We'll link it in the description if you're in Toronto and need a
So that's
cool studio to use.
that's a film studio? Is like what do you call that?
No,
It's-
they were like normally an event kind of studio
Space, yeah.
and they
I-
rent out for like other companies as well.
Yeah, that
But-
they have a CYC wall, which is like a white backdrop wall. That's it's got like the curve on it, so it could be
So I'm just looking at JJ.
mostly. How's that? Cool. Oh, hello. Yeah, they have that kind of wall, and the owner or the guy who runs it, his name's Dylan. He says he gets mostly photo coming through, and there's a smaller rate for that to just use like the backdrop wall. But if you're doing a video production like we were doing, you get access to the whole building, which is like right in the downtown core. If you're familiar with Toronto, it's between Queen Street and Adelaide, kind of like really close to the old Much Music building, TIFF, where they do the film festival in Toronto, and Scotiabank Theatre. So it's like smack dab downtown.
Yeah.
I think it's like a 3-floor
Yep.
kind of condo-ish unit. Like I'm sure at some point it used to be an apartment because like
There's a kitchen
everything
and a
on the
bathroom.
second
Yeah.
floor is like looks like a living space, but it's kind of fallen apart in like the coolest way. Like it's just a really
Yeah.
old Toronto building.
So that's all. Like Dylan's the guy that runs that whole thing.
He owns it.
Yeah. I think he said there's an AIDS charity that also shares the space with them that come in like, I don't know, a few days of the week.
Yeah.
And then he has other spaces in there that he rents out. I don't know if it's him who rents it out or like the like actual building owner that rents out other offices in there.
Yeah.
But that's
it's
what
him.
is it him? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So then he rents out those as well. But
Cool.
yeah, it's pretty sweet. There was no one there because it was a Saturday, so we just kind of got to like
That's a lie.
run around.
There were people
Well,
there.
People there. But
No, on the roof.
Oh yeah. Okay. So we have, and you'll see in the video. There's a segment that's shot like on the rooftop at night. Wasn't supposed to be at night. It was supposed to be around sunset, which I'm sure it's gonna work out in our favor actually, having it pushed later in the day. But there was a whole like Reno construction crew that just like threw their ladders up on the side of the building and started scaling up the walls to start
Yeah.
tearing up the roof.
Yeah,
Like the night before we were supposed to shoot that rooftop scene, I got this like panic phone call from the owner saying like, shit, dude, I have no idea what the hell's going on or who these people are, so we're going to have to figure something out. So it was just a waiting game all day, like planning out what we should be shooting up until we're like finally allowed to go up there. And it was like the second they were down with their ladders, he was like out there peeking over the edge of the building so they weren't going to flip out that we were just on the roof they had just renovated, lugging out a bunch of set pieces and shit like that. But cool.
Again, we'll find out in a couple hours. We're going to start going through the footage and kind of piecing it together. So we'll see how it turns out. JJ, how was that for you? I guess, what would your role be? Co-director as well as like videographer? Is that the title?
I've shot all of our music videos up until this one. Yeah.
What do you call like being the camera operator?
The cinematographer.
Cinematographer.
Yeah.
So how was your experience like not being the cinematographer?
It's relaxing.
Yeah.
To lay on a lot of couches.
Yeah.
It was good. No. Yeah. No. It was nice taking a step back. It's like things can get a little too. You need some outside. You need some outside brains.
Yeah. And
every once in a while.
A reason for doing this is just that we have like so much going on personally as a band, and like
as well as
we
like
have to get
JJ's already doing like a bunch of other video things for other bands and stuff. So like to cram it all in before a tour is probably like so stressful.
I'm asking because like from my experience, for like me recording, it's very rare that I'm in a studio where someone else is doing it, and it's always an interesting experience where like I learn something, or I see someone doing something I don't like, kind of thing.
Regarding the last thing there, my tactic yesterday was just to kind of I was there to help when I knew I could help in a productive way, but I wasn't there to be critical about things. So to avoid the
too many cooks in the
stress
kitchen
of that, I backed off a bit. That's all.
Cool.
But nothing was done that I was like.
And so the guy that ended up being the cinematographer, is that the was a guy named Mark Smith.
Yeah. Okay. So
go ahead.
how this had happened? So I sent the treatment for the video to JJ, which is just like the written breakdown of like the concept and like how things would be shot and planned. And JJ was just upfront being like, I think this is awesome. I just have so much on my plate right now. Like, totally cool and like almost more worth it if we just like can allocate some tasks to other people. If I can take a step back, which is fine by me. I will say, it's like there's always a learning curve to like learn how to work with a new director. I feel like JJ and I had like found our groove over the last like few times working together. So the only thing that stressed me out at first was like, oh shit, I would like to find someone that I've like done it with before. Yeah. So originally I'd contacted our friend Wyatt Clow, who we've shot Safe to Say videos with before. He's been like Beartooth's go-to guy for the last few years up until now. Yeah. And he had messaged me a couple months ago saying like,
Travis is like, he said but it barely came out.
So Wyatt had hit me up saying like, hey man, like would love to like work together again at some point. And so that kind of lined up with this. And the night before, I guess it was the night before the video, Wyatt had just come home from Hong Kong. He was filming a bunch of stuff out there, which I can only imagine was like traumatic. I don't know, like
he was
just
saying,
super like intense.
He was saying that he got beat up by police and stuff because they didn't know he was press, and he was yelling it like multiple times before
he was
they
taking
realized
photos of the protests there.
Yeah. So I'm sure like a mix of that, jet lag, and just like whatever else. He gave me a call saying like, I think I had the flu, and in my head I'm thinking like, man, I think you're also just like drained, like just getting off a plane and having to do this video. So he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to do it or not, and eventually just put us in Mark's hands, which
it went smoothly.
Yeah, it went smoothly.
We really liked him, so we stole his shirt.
Yeah, we're holding his shirt ransom right now. It's in someone's car.
Okay, but that's enough on the music video, just because it isn't out yet. So there's a little backstory. It'll come out sooner than you think. We have a tour coming up. And on this tour, we're going to have an extra member.
Yeah.
This is kind of a new thing that we haven't experienced as this band. It's one of our friends. It's a friend named Joey. And he helped out with the record. He was there like the whole time we were there. Super talented guy, multi-instrumentalist, very handy guy. If we have any band troubles, we know having Joey on the road is going to be is going to be good. And just like an easy guy to get along with. So there's not like too much to say about that. But we're gonna have an extra guy on this tour, and that's gonna be interesting. The venue sizes change. We're playing like some smaller ones and some bigger ones, so it's gonna be interesting how we all fit on a stage on the smaller ones. But I think that shouldn't be a problem. Anything you guys are looking forward to? Any dates? Any places? Any long drives?
The desert
Yeah, like I always like what Jay just said. Like I like those drives the most. I think
and the mountains.
the mountains. Honestly, like I don't know why I always say this and no one gets it, but I really like driving through like some areas of PA just because there's like so much greenery and it doesn't feel like you're just driving on like an interstate for hours and hours on end. Like it's
Really?
ni-
Yeah,
yeah.
no,
That's
it's
what I
good.
mean. Everyone says that. Really, you
Well,
like that?
it is
Like,
greenery. Like I
The top
know
of
what it
the
looks like.
Appalachian Trail, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's almost like driving through like Ontario once you get past like
That's
Toronto.
the thing, though.
There's
yeah,
hills
like,
though. Like once you
Yeah.
like especially Pittsburgh. You remember Pittsburgh? Or it's just
Yeah.
a city in
Smiling
the
Moose.
valley.
Yeah, Smiling
See you
Moose.
there, October 23rd.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to California, obviously, because it's like the fucking best. And
I'm excited to go to
we're
Seattle.
gonna stop
That'll be
at,
Seattle, yeah.
I'm really excited to go. there.
we can go to the Redwoods because it's on a day off and it's between Portland and somewhere in California.
Yeah.
I think. So
Cool.
that's gonna be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I'll be dragging the guys to a lot of coffee spots so we
Mhm.
can chill, feed our caffeine addiction, and work on content.
Yeah, I'm gonna be vlogging the whole thing as
Yeah.
I always do. So that'll be fun.
Yeah,
So it's just an excuse to like do more fun things and make the most of it because it's easy once you've like toured a little bit to be complacent and just like hang out in the van and
Yeah.
just go to the show, play the show, whatnot. I think this is like our first like real tour that's like longer than 2 weeks
Yeah.
as a
It
band.
is.
Oh, yeah.
Which is so silly to say like at this point, but
I think it's my first real tour, like, period. Like, we did one, as safe to
Yeah.
say, like, forever ago, but that wasn't, like, that was a mess.
oh yeah.
True.
It's like when you're like 20
yeah.
and everything's DIY,
Yeah.
and then it's just like, well, I hope it's a real show when we can get there.
Playing
Yeah.
to 5 people, like,
Yeah.
every night.
Yeah. So
That should be good, and it's always fun to know that there's going to be people there. Like we've seen some of the ticket sales already. And like it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a lot of fun.
yeah,
I just got a new van.
Got a
yeah.
new van and a
man,
trailer.
gotta-
Nice.
Okay.
Sparkly
Nice
new
van.
I got to tell this story. My girlfriend's going to be really mad at me, but so we got a new van and a trailer. And so I told her that we got a van and a trailer. And then I got this crazy idea on this tour. I was like, okay, how can I save money on food? Because on previous tours and smaller runs, like you can eat like twice a day, like eat out, like, fast food. And it's
I know
not
where
that,
it's going.
Taco
not that
Bell.
expensive overall. So on this tour, I was like, okay, how can I save some money on food so I'm not spending like $30 US every single day on food? So I was like getting creative, and I was like making rice at the time as I was thinking about this, and I was like, I can bring my rice maker. So then I like watched some YouTube videos. You can make like oatmeal in a rice maker. You can make like
Rice.
Rice, you can
might
definitely
make
make
rice. You get frozen vegetables, put those in. Anyway, so I had this
Beef,
crazy
maybe?
idea that I thought was silly of bringing a rice maker on tour. Whether I actually do, I probably won't actually do it, but I thought it'd be funny to tell my girlfriend, and she's like, "Why don't you just like cook it in the trailer?" And I was like, why would I go in a cargo trailer and cook oatmeal in a rice maker? And then she basically she wasn't clear on what trailer meant, and I think I also wasn't clear on what trailer meant, because I guess what we have is a cargo trailer by definition. So she thought
Utility.
that we had like a trailer that had like a full kitchen and beds in it, and she thought it was really redundant that we bought a van and a trailer.
We should have done that.
Anna, we're rich. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Well, yeah, we're probably gonna go in 2 vehicles, stay in hotels every night.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to break it to her. We both had to do Google Images searches of the word trailer and see what popped up. So we are both like a little bit wrong, but it was a funny miscommunication. So
Nice.
Nice, man.
There's my story.
Yeah, nice.
I spent a month in Brazil.
Yeah.
Anna's from
what
Brazil.
the hell?
And
Also, just as a friend, like Cory sleeps in like underneath the stairs, basically, of the house that he owns.
have you seen Harry Potter?
Yeah, Cory sleeps in a
It's a
closet,
room that size.
and it's just like, for the most part, sitting at. Correct me if I'm wrong, but sitting at a computer desk like 16 hours, 17 hours of the day. Like working
Yeah.
on music and shit like that. So when he told us he was going to Brazil to visit his girlfriend, we were like, damn, like that's a trip, like that's crazy. And then he went, yeah, I'm going for a month. He thought, oh shit, he might die. Like he might not. Does he know how to do it?
That's what my dad said. He's like, a month, dude, you're gonna get so sick of her. I was like, oh. So I didn't.
Classic.
So that was good.
That's a classic joke, though.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta make this really clear because I feel really weird when I say this. Like, oh, I have a girlfriend in Brazil. It sounds like I met her on the internet and she's not real. So she went to school where I live for like a year, and that's how we met. Anyways, yeah. So I ended up going to Brazil halfway through August until like halfway through September, and I didn't really understand like that most people don't go to Brazil in their lives until
That's why everyone
like-
wants you to go to Brazil.
yeah, until like a week prior, and then I was like a little scared. I was like, oh, that's really far away from home. So I had to take 4 flights to get there, which surprisingly wasn't too bad. Besides like me being terrified of heights and having panic attacks on the planes and scaring the people beside me.
That was bad.
No, it was fun.
And yeah, I don't know what to say when anyone asks like, oh, how was the trip? I was just like, yeah, it was great. Because like, how do you like sum up a month into a sentence that has like multiple places, a completely different culture, different language, different food? It's kind of like when we went on Warped Tour and we came back and like we went back to our normal lives. It was like, did that actually happen? Like you're in like an alternate dimension.
Yeah.
That's like the same thing. It was like, I think I did that. But yeah, I spent a month there. I spent the first 2 weeks with her family, which was great. Like super ingrained in the culture.
And Cory had to learn how to dance.
Yep.
That was towards the end of the trip. I think one of like relating this experience to like any other traveling that I've done, which has basically been with you guys, like when we went to overseas, like you spend a day or two or maybe a little bit longer in a country, but in different cities within the country, and you don't really get to like experience the like it's not like traveling with it's like it's touring. It is that. So you don't spend very much time. You don't get to like experience stuff. And one thing that bummed me out about going to Europe was like you see Starbucks, McDonald's, like all those places everywhere you go. So people might speak different and there might be like slightly different architecture, but you don't feel like you're in a completely different place. Going to Brazil was different. Like there is no Starbucks in the town that she lives in.
Yeah.
Like there's not a single Starbucks. There's not even going to the grocery store. You don't recognize the chains of food. And so like the food is all different. Obviously, there's no signs in English. Even just like trying to buy something at the grocery store, like I just have to be like, I don't speak English. When they ask me like, do you have a card? Like, oh, do you have a PC Plus point? Or, you know, like any sort of thing like attached to that company. I just say I don't speak English and then give them the money.
You don't speak English?
Or I don't speak Portuguese.
Like, yeah, that's neither.
How do you say I don't speak Portuguese in Portuguese?
Eu não falo português.
Oh, there we go.
That's pretty good. Yeah. I had to get really good at that one. And then you say obrigado at the end, which means
What's
thank
the other
you.
one? What's the other one you know?
Dude, I know like 20 words now.
Say them.
Can you say them on the podcast? Or
Okay,
are they
meu
bad words?
Deus. That means like, oh my God, or my God.
I thought it was going to mean mayonnaise.
But that's a very common one.
The mayo.
Everyone's always going, oh, meu Deus. So
Like
that was good. Yeah, like that. No, it's like very dramatic. It always sounds like even internally, like inside her family's house. I was like, is everyone mad at each other? Everyone's like yelling. But no, they're just like, I mean, they live in like a modest sized apartment, so you can like talk to anyone in any room as long as you speak up. Yeah, it's really interesting. Anna's mom does not speak English. She tries. She speaks more English than I speak Portuguese. She knows how to say like good morning and like are you hungry. But yeah, that was like really interesting, and I think it kind of like made it, I don't know, it like made our relationship like stronger right off the bat because we both had to try really hard just to communicate. But like the third day in, Anna and her brother go to the gym, so I'm there like home alone with her mom, and she's cooking in the kitchen and I'm sitting in the living room, and I just met her. I'm like some weird Canadian guy. And so I'm just sitting there on my computer. I'm like, okay, I should make an effort to like talk to her mom. I know she'd really appreciate that. So I like go into the kitchen.
Is this how you learned how to dance?
No.
This is going?
That's later. The way I learned how to dance was I just like drank because I knew I had to dance, and I was really nervous.
Nice.
And I told everyone I was really nervous, and then it just came out of me, man. And turns out dancing is kind of fun. Also, I made everyone delete all the photos and videos of me that night. But anyways, okay. So I go into the kitchen, and Anna's mom's there, and I like walk in with my MacBook, and then her and I like talk through Google Translate for like over an hour.
That's funny.
Writing paragraphs back and forth. It started like, where do you live? And I like go on Google Maps and I show her like, this is where I live. This is where my family lives. This is where Anna stayed in Ottawa. And like, that took like 20 minutes just to do that. And then we start talking about the government, the political system, like how many parties there are, like all this stuff. And then we start talking about healthcare.
I wonder how much like
Wow.
got shipped like broken telephone throughout that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you think you're talking about the government.
Yeah.
She's just like, so how are your parents?
I'm sure there was definitely a fair amount of that. By the end of the trip, she was like walking around with her phone with Google Translate where you can like talk into it and then it would repeat it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was that.
Did you use that app at all where you like hold your phone up and it like changes text in real time to like
No,
whatever language?
but I definitely
Like if you're at a
annoyed
grocery
the
store?
crap out of Anna. Just like, what does that mean? What does that mean? And I would just like
Yeah.
repeat everything I read as
What's
we were like
the
driving.
gluten situation there?
Better because they have multiple types of flours, like in North America, like wheat flour is like. If there's anything that looks like bread, it's probably wheat flour. Like, you have rice flour and other different types of flour, but predominantly wheat flour is used.
By the way, Cory has celiac disease.
I have celiac disease, episode 2. I think we addressed it in the first episode as well.
Probably.
We gotta let the people know, man.
Gotta make sure they know.
They have like a bunch of roots there that they like make different flours from, and they use those to make like a bunch of stuff. So there's actually like surprisingly, there's things that I would look at and I'd be like, I can't eat that, and it'd be like, no, it's actually made out of like tapioca flour. And you're like, what? For example, something that is like a Brazilian, I guess like dish or like it's kind of like an appetizer almost. It's called pão de queijo, which translates to like cheese bread or bread of cheese. You have to say like pão because if you say
Is
pow,
it like really thick, but like airy?
no, it's like light and fluffy,
okay.
and it's like a little like greasy kind of or like oily because of the
Yeah.
cheese. It's basically just like tastes like cheese bread, and it's really good. And when I look at it, it looks like cheese bread, but I can eat it because it's made out of tapioca flour.
Nice.
Yeah. But okay, so a big thing with Portuguese that I learned is like they use like to like finish words. It's like A and then O, but the A has a little squiggly line on it.
Of course.
And that makes a sound that I can't pronounce. So I avoid those words. But if you say, so like bread is like P, A with the squiggly line, O, and that's like bow. But if you say pow, that means dick. So it's like you got to be careful
Cheese
there.
dick.
You get a nice French dick.
Yeah.
Bring it home.
So yeah, that was basically my entire Brazil trip wrapped up into a into a conversation.
That's good.
Bow.
So yeah, I think you know how to do it now. That's your
What?
month. Explain your month in a 5-second story. It's good.
Yeah,
You did it.
there's a lot more that
Yeah.
happened. That
Talk about the dog gangs.
there's
Oh,
wild dogs.
yeah.
When I was in Florianopolis, which is where Anna went to school, and she had like her graduation party because that's like a big deal in Brazil. If you graduate from post-secondary school, it's like a social thing to have like a party, and you have to invite like everyone that's important, like all your entire family. They come out. It's like a wedding. They like give you money and stuff like when you graduate. So we were in that place for like a week and a half. We went a little early, and we stayed at basically at a beach house that was like a family friends that owned it, that only uses it as like a vacation spot, but it was so nice. So we just like stayed there, and we'd walk around a bunch. It was like 2 minutes from a beach, and yeah, there's just like literally wild dogs, like a gang of wild dogs. Like they stuck together. They would like wake up in the morning, and they would find all the other dogs, and then they would just like walk around, and they were super nice. You could pet them. They did not bark unless a car drove by, and yeah, they were like, it was literally like a gang, and you felt like you were part of it. They would like walk with you, like they would just like all like circle around you, and
Those were actually just other people on the beach before they turned them into the dogs.
Into the dogs, yeah. No, but I like.
They're trying to get
I
you
don't know
to
if it's a
join
bad
them.
thing or a good thing because none of the dogs looked unhealthy, and they all looked like none of them looked like old dogs.
Hmm.
But
There are no old dogs.
No.
That's how it works.
okay,
Yeah, they
yeah.
don't-
So, but
yeah.
the people there don't like the wild dogs. Like, you see them like shoot them away and like
So like, yeah, I feel
don't
like
Well, it's probably the equivalent of like raccoons,
raccoons.
here.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like they're just pests who want your food.
But they're so nice.
I'm a pest who wants
But they're nice
seafood.
because they want your food.
I don't have any food. I just gave them scratches.
They still want it.
I named them all.
It's
That's
because
good.
they see them literally as like the equivalent of like a street gang of like teenagers. Like,
They have like beer and cigarettes on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're arch rivals with the dogs from the other
Spraying
school.
graffiti on the walls.
Yeah, Trying to remember if there's anything else like super memorable. Oh, everyone that was trying to like, it's very common in Brazil to like, if you walk into any store, even if it's not a sales store, they'll try and sell you something. Like it's just like in the culture. It's like they're always trying to sell you something. So when you're on the street, when you're like walking anywhere and there's people selling stuff on the street, they make an effort of trying to sell you something. And when I was hanging out on the beaches in Rio, you can't go like more than 45 seconds without someone trying to sell you like food or some sort of souvenir. I guess those are kind of the main things, or like an alcoholic beverage. And it was pretty common for someone selling like, for example, like soccer jerseys to like try and offer me weed. But so they would ask in Portuguese. They would come up, they'd be like selling soccer jerseys in Portuguese, and then they would see me, and because I visibly look different than everyone else there, they know that I'm a gringo, which I don't know what the translation of that word is. I thought it was foreign, but someone told me it means white. But
It's white American.
Yeah, not
I
from
think it's
there.
all of the above. Yeah.
And and then they would just try and sell me weed, but they would do it without making eye contact because it's like illegal. So they'd be like, smoke weed, smoke weed, smoke weed, and they would just like pass by, and then oftentimes someone would like come up, try and sell something, and then they would ask Anna and be like, does he do any drugs? Does he need any drugs? Like, does he need cigarettes? Does he need this? So that was that.
Cool, man.
Fun.
Yeah, glad you're home.
The beach was good. Yeah, no, I'm glad I'm home. Glad I'm home safe.
Peace. All your fingers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
did not get robbed. Anna definitely scared the crap out of me going into it. I was like convinced that I was going to get robbed, and then I realized she overdid it because I talked to all her friends. She's like, it's not that bad. Like, it's not that bad. Like, it depends where you are, and you
Yeah.
got to stay away from like certain places. But we did not leave the house with our phones if we didn't need our phones, and if we did, we would bring her old phone. She has a backup phone that she brings outside. You know, you don't wear earplugs or headphones at any point outside because that means you have a phone on you. You bring exact amount of money wherever you go.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Take
a little
the
different.
precautions, yeah.
And then when I came back to Canada, and I would like make a phone call outside, it's like I had this like new heightened awareness of like, is anybody looking at me? Yeah, it makes you like honestly coming back here, like you realize how safe and easy we have it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like in
Totally.
all ways,
Yeah.
jobs, money, safety.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
So you gain perspective.
You gain perspective. Yeah.
It's good. It's good. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Video, album,
Tour.
coming out on the 25th. Tour,
Brazil.
Brazil. Hey, Brazil was a big deal for all of us, man. It was like sending the kid off to college.
Yeah, Brad was not exaggerating. I spend most of my time sitting like 5 feet from where I sleep in a chair, working on things. Yeah, it was great. It's fantastic. I would recommend that if you go to Brazil, find someone that lives there that you know, so you can get like the full experience. Because it's definitely worth seeing, especially if you're from North America, because it is very different in a lot of ways. Yeah, I think that's.
It's cool that the album's coming out because it's been what? How long ago did we actually record the album? Like
started in January,
2018.
February of 2018.
That's tracking, yeah.
That was tracking. So
You know what's funny? I actually found when I was cleaning my closet the other day, I found like old notebooks when we were like first writing the songs, and I was like rearranging lyrics and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, and just like realizing like how long ago we were starting most of those things. Like
Yeah.
holy
Yeah.
shit! Like
well, we started. Okay, so right now we have 6 songs out of the from the album, and it's been amazing to release the songs like kind of individually over a course of time, because then it's really interesting to us because we kind of created them as a collection of music, but seeing everyone digest them one by one and seeing how people resonate with certain ones over others and whatnot has been really cool. Brad and I, after we decided we'd take a break, you came to my house in August of 2017, end of July of 2017,
July, yeah.
like into August 1st, because I have demos that lead like back to that day.
Yeah.
And I have the initial demo of Other People.
yeah,
I have the initial
Sleepwalker was one. Not Sleepwalker.
Not Sun Shower.
Yeah.
Sun Shower, and then like part of a song that hasn't been released, track 10,
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
like
Oh,
threw
yeah.
into a different song, and maybe other ones there. But like that was the start of that. So yeah, it's been crazy to see that like some of them are out, And then it's really refreshing to see someone hear it for the first time and have
Yeah.
like a reaction to it now as if it's like this brand new thing
Yeah.
where it's something we've been like sitting on. And when we started making these songs, we had no idea how they were going to come out, if they were going to come out. Like there was a lot of uncertainty.
We were
in a
still
lot of
safe
ways.
to say in the
Yeah.
moment.
But we didn't
when
even know if the band
started.
was going to
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
continue. So
Yeah, it was just kind of writing music to like.
we got to
fun,
find a way
right?
to
Just for
celebrate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to find a way to celebrate. I was thinking that.
We'll be on tour.
Yeah,
we should
okay.
get, we should get an
We
Airbnb.
have to figure it out.
We'll buy food that
Well,
day
we'll
and
be
not
in
make
Toronto.
oatmeal in
It'll
the
be-
rice maker.
Let's cook up a chicken
Also, I
dinner
just
in a
realized
rice
like we're going to
maker.
be in Toronto that day.
Yeah, I was just
playing
saying.
at
album
Hard Luck.
album release show / barbecue.
Well, okay. The 25th is not going to be our album release show.
We are playing a show
In
that
Toronto.
day,
In our hometown.
and our album comes out that day. That's not our album release
But it's
show.
not an album release.
A record release show is just the celebration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll plan something for that.
Yeah,
for
sure.
sure. But yeah, we'll sell you.
We'll sell you.
Silly hard.
Just get a hot tub. We're in Travis's backyard, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got everything but a hot
saying
tub. So
forever.
We're
if
gonna
you-
put one right like here
yeah.
in the middle of this.
So if Fearless wants us to up production and
Yeah.
do this in a hot tub,
If they want us to make better art, we need a more
It's a
comfortable
great
environment.
idea.
like a Locket Tub podcast.
We
yeah,
could do it
we
at
get
Jamie's.
guests. Yeah, man, we'll
Yes.
get
They'll
guests in the
drive
tub.
to St.
We'll get some-
Catharines.
I feel like
Just
this
like
is the
this.
thing. This was on the Amanda Bynes show. She would hold interviews
Yeah.
in a hot tub.
Maybe she should just like,
She's
I
called
would love to
Hot
interview
Ones.
just
Amanda
like,
Bynes
yeah.
in a,
yeah, what's she up to?
just get her on the show and see how she's doing.
Yeah.
Right on.
Okay.
All right.
JJ,
Cool. On that note,
one final plug. You got to plug everything that I plugged at the start, okay? And then you got to say, thank you. We'll see you in the next video.
www.locketsongs.com. That has everything you need to know. Just go there.
No,
The end.
dude, our team's going to get mad at us if we don't do it properly. Okay, you ready for this? Hi, guys. We're in a band called Locket. We have an album coming out October 25th. It's called All Out. It's really special. You should buy it. We have a tour coming up with the Dangerous Summer. It's going to be really good. You should come and buy it.
Please,
Thank you. Good
Please
night.
come see us.
nailed it.
Links for everything in show notes and the description. Thank you for listening to the music.
Amanda Bynes forever.
Subscribe.